Is it a predictable outcome that they'll just die if they take all of the drugs that they're being told to take? Dr. Tracy?
Yes. Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Is it a predictable outcome that if they take all these drugs, I mean, if you actually do the math on the drugs, that this is what will happen?
Yes, definitely. We've always known that if you mix medications that increase serotonin, that you're going to have serotonin syndrome, which causes sudden death. If you mix two, you're almost guaranteed. They're mixing three. Pain meds do it, Paxil does it, and Seroquel does it. That's three right in a row.
And so, what knowing what Stan White has said then, and knowing what Captain Joyce Riley said about 90% of these returning soldiers being on these drugs, again, I come back to you. I wonder now what might we be expecting then in terms of a sudden uptick in just sudden, as you call it, serotonin syndrome deaths?
Way too many. Way too many. There's already been too many. Marie Osmond's neighbor dropped dead in her sleep several years ago. Their case has been filed. It's happening everywhere. It has been happening for a very long time. Maybe with it happening now with vets, with people watching, it'll get more attention. I don't know.
Stan, I want you to give your email address out one more time so that everybody can hear it and they can email you if they know of somebody that this has happened to, and so that they can help you in your cause.
Yes, please. It's all small case letters. HSWHITE2346
Okay. Thank you, Stan White.
And they're also welcome to email us at drugawareness.org, and we'll put them in touch with Stan if they have trouble getting through to him.
We're talking about these this particular class of drugs, SSRIs, and a report that Dr. Ann Blake Tracey gave us last half hour about how 90% of returning soldiers might be on some form of these, and how it's going to be affecting people coming up, especially when the war is over. And here's what I'm worried about, too, with these economic times here, Dr. Ann Blake Tracey. It's not like a lot of the returning soldiers are going to end up walking back into the workforce, walking back into the job they had before they left.
That's right.
So these are going to be some tough times for them to readjust in the best of times. And if they're not going to be getting the care from the VA, this is going to be real troublesome. Well, thank you so much, Stan White, for your time tonight, and I hope that people will get in touch with Stan White and pass along any information that they might have for him. And Dr. Ann Blake Tracey, before you go, just real quickly, there was another report. You sent it to me, and I was just looking for it here in my email. And you're always so good about sending out the alerts, and I always try to save them. In this case, it was about the same thing that happened with Stan White on the idea of the U.S. military heavily armed and medicated, and it's about the diagnosis for PTSD and some of the other things that are coming down the pipe with that. It was from an email from a guy named Val. Was that?
Yes. Yeah, that was a private email that I'd just gotten from somebody saying that he went to the VA hospital for an appointment and couldn't believe how many cars there were in the parking lot. And when he went in, he'd never seen so many people in the place. So he finally asked somebody what was going on, and they told him that they were meeting to discuss PTSD.
And that's there's so many people who are suffering from it, that or depression, and that there's still some concern that if they identify themselves as having post-traumatic stress syndrome or depression, that somehow they're going to end up getting kicked out of the military when the military may be the only job right now that they can even get.
Well, and if they're concerned about it, how come the crowd was so big? That's
right.
Scary.
Or even that if the crowd was so big, doesn't even begin to represent the number of soldiers that are affected by it, but the only the ones that are so bad off they're showing up. Maybe the other ones out there are still hanging back and they need the help. Well, very good. Well, thank you again, Dr. Ann Blake Tracey. Find out more at drugawareness.org. And I appreciate you bringing Stan White to our attention, and we'll give an update on that story coming up in the next couple of weeks after Stan White begins to hear from people around the country. So thank you, Dr. Tracey.
Thank you.
And happy Memorial Day. Coming up tomorrow night on Coast to Coast AM, in a way, this theme will continue, not in the